Namaste, Jai Bharat. Nobody likes the person Hitler in the world. Even in his own time, I don't think everyone must have liked him. But in spite of the fact that we don't like someone, even such a person says something meaningful, we should appreciate. I'm just talking about Hitler, how he looked at the communists and communism. In his Mein Kampf, it should mean my struggle. What he talks about the communists is very interesting, and the language and the expression is interesting. He calls them international lepers. I repeat, he calls them international lepers. They're international because communists are supposed to project present an international view of things at the cost of nationalism. That's important. At the very cost of nationalism. And then, of course, he calls them as lepers. So, among those very few things you would like in Hitler is this expression. He talks about the Social Democrats in Germany those days. They are the communists. That they are international lepers, right? In his perspective, with his thoughts, his expression is apt. There are many objections to communism. Many people at a very young age gets attracted to communism, especially in the academia. Then also and now also. Many youngsters get attracted to communism in the academia. When I joined another university, of course, from one university as a professor to another university, when for certain other reasons, I come across a youngster, very promising student. He was drawn to communism, and another professor who happened to me. We were just introduced at that time. I was a new professor at that university. Then the other professor told him there's a new professor joined this department. Go and meet him. Then that boy comes to me, we talked. Then he of course, with the other professor, my friend, has told me this boy is falling into communism, just talk to him. Then he came to me, we had a discussion. Of course, he ceased to be communist within no time. And now he is teaching in that university, doing well. So the point is, at young age, especially in the academia, we find many people getting attracted to Marxism, communism, Marxism in general, and subsequently leaving it. After when they acquire maturity, after an age, they leave it. In the case of that student, I happen to be instrumental in getting it done early, before he did not travel too long, and it was not necessary for him, because someone could show him the other ways, so he will opt for that. And this still continues in media, in publishing, and writings. This influence, this stamp of Marxism is there directly, indirectly, etc., because it's very emotionally involved when it comes to the Marxist and not to Marx himself. Now, there are many drawbacks of Marxism which we talk about, but one psychological drawback of Marxism is that they destroy creativity. It destroys creativity, it destroys originality, and creates synthetic human beings who are artificially generated with artificial surroundings and artificial means and artificial aura. You see, there are a lot of psychological compulsions that happens to a person in a communist society. Why should you leave? There's a concept of senility, that one doesn't want to do anything in life. One gets senile. That concept is there. It happens with age. It happens normally with age. When you've lived a life, complete life, and there may be a point that comes to your life that you don't have nothing, you don't long for anything more, or you feel there's nothing that you should live for. One should live for something, and suddenly one feels that you have nothing to live for. So that kind of a situation is something like senility. then also your faculties go blunt. They don't function anymore as they used to function in younger days. So these things happen, and then one gets into senility. Now, it happens normally with people with age and a lot of experiences, and the detachment that takes place, philosophical resignation from the mundane existence. All these things are there as ingredients, but in communism, this happens just like that at a very young age. Look at the case. In archetype communism, I'm talking about archetype communism theoretically. See, you are looked after. Everything is provided for. You're looked after, everything is provided for. Ideally, you won't stand in a line and for toilet paper. The toilet papers are given free. You stand in line, you get what you want. Stand in another line, you get what you want. There are places where things are given just like free because you are a citizen in a communist state. I'm talking about an ideal situation. Then, interestingly, you have a family of 10. This is ideal communism, not socialism. Marx also makes a distinction between socialism and communism. In socialism, to all according to his work, and in communism, to all according to his need. I'm talking about communism. You have a family of 5 members or 10 members. The state is supposed to give you a big house, sufficient for 10 people to live. You have only one son. In spite of the fact you are a professor in a university, you will get a smaller house. Similarly, your cars, your vehicles, things are provided to you. The state, first of all, acquires richness by whichever means they, and then that rich is supposed to be spread among the people in kind, facilitating things. So, according to your need, you are provided. I gave the example of a professor who has one son. He needs only a small house, reasonably small house. He doesn't need a bungalow. A factory worker who has 12 children needs a bungalow, big place. The logic goes like this. Now, just imagine, this is what I want you to do. Just imagine in such a situation, do you have anything to live for? In capital letters, do you have anything to live for? And you go on this way, in the monotony of communism, you have nothing to live for. Everything comes. Everything comes. That makes you absolutely non-competent, incapable, miserably passive, non-reactive, and blind, unable to think. Where is your creativity? Is there any creativity within you? If at all you have a creativity, in literature, things like that, you cannot write. Because creativity has to be minus coercion, without compulsions. And if you happen to write something which does not please them, you're doomed. The punishments are severe. You are given everything so long as you work like an ant. So long as you work for the state. And then there will always be a section of people in the party who are the real authority, who will do anything and everything. Who will do anything and everything as per their whims. Their family, their children goes to the upper class. This should happen in practical cases. But I was talking about ideal situations before. But this is what should happen when this, if it takes place at all. Of course, it had not taken place totally anywhere, but then there are versions of communism everywhere. Many communist societies did this. So you become absolutely initiativeless. Just imagine a human society where the people live without any initiatives, without any longing towards something unknown, without any anything to do. You don't have to do anything, everything comes to you. And you can't do anything until things come to you. That's the point. You don't have to do anything because everything is given to you. But even if you want to do, if at all you want to do, which doesn't happen, you can do nothing even if you want to do, because you have turned yourself incapable. You wouldn't know what to do. I've seen such a situation. I will not speak more, but I will just speak hint. Can't speak more because it's not a good thing. It's not a pleasant topic. After the collapse of the former Soviet Union, in some places in Middle East, I'll say the name of the place, Dubai, in the hotels, Intercon Hotel. I said the name of the hotel. In the hotels, you find girls coming from some places. They don't know anything. They don't know language. They come with calculator and show the amount for a night trade, and they are picked up, mostly from the coffee shop, and they go and come back. They earn dollar and go back to whichever place they come from. People must have been finding it amusing to go with this very pretty looking healthy girls, but it was really miserable to see the things. A system of government had destroyed a society. Of course, this only happened for some time. They came out of it. They survived. But such a situation, the point is that which I was trying to make is that one is made incapable, initiativeless. Forget about having creativity. You're totally destroyed and reduced into mechanical instruments. So this is one of the greatest problems in communism. It destroys human vitality. Marx is supposed to have understood man, but in his own manner, which is wrong, because he thought only of positive aspects of man. I won't accuse him, but he thought only of positive aspects. He failed to understand man in its totality, though his theories are always aimed at totality. But here, look at the look at what he wrote in the critique towards Hegel's philosophy, right? When he's talking about religion, he says, sigh of oppressed creature, soul of soulless conditions. Actually, communism is this: you are made soulless. In his own words, you are made soulless. Though, of course, communism is no more a menace in the world. It had gone by itself. But then the impact of communism remains in many areas, especially in academia, press, publishing, media. It's still there. Implicitly, maybe not explicitly, but implicitly, the rebellion spirit one draws from communism, Marxism. So be careful. Too much of it is too much for humans. We meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.